All right, let's look for a shrine since shrine won the poll. Shrine 16 timing 2.1k minimum melee. All right, let's sign up. You feel you would go back to tanking for method NA if time allowed? I think Darky wants a tank, so he's gonna be the tank for method NA. So to answer your question, it's probably not. So unless Darky is not tanking, and then they were looking for another tank. Will you change your name to Nerf Coach TV? I don't know. Devastator versus Booming Voice for Mythic Plus, always Booming Voice. Would you ever start your own MDI squad? Yeah, I might. It depends in Shadowlands, so we'll have to see what time and stuff will be like.
Stay the course.
Tank trinkets or DPS trinkets for high keys? For certain dungeons you would want like a tank trinket, like N'Zoth trinket. But I think so. I've been using these trinkets in every key I do because they're the only ones I have, and I think it works out fine. Best ally race for warrior tanking? Probably dwarf or night elf. Which tank is better in Shadowlands? I think it's too early to tell. Prot warrior in Shadowlands? I mean, the current iteration of it, I think it's like obviously it's much worse than what Prot warrior is now. But I mean, we'll have to see how everything turns out. How do you manage necrotic stacks? Then get stacks and then kite, or maybe just perma kite? Just get stacks and then kite. It's not typically. I'm bottom is your alt in another account. It's so my brother and I have two accounts, two WoW like licenses on the same BattleNet. Or you prefer dungeons to run Conflict and Strife Major versus running something else? For Necrotic Week, you'll want to run Conflict and Strife Major in most dungeons. Except for like Workshop and King's Rest, probably. And then after that, like, I think Conflict and Strife is really good in all the other ones. Alright, let's see. Let's see Shrine. Alright, so obviously we do these. You know, we're probably gonna get slammed because of bursting. And then we'll go ahead and do these. And we can probably do this. Then we go do the blob. And we just bring the blob to the boss. We'll do all of these. This guy will probably come at some point. We'll do this. This. Maybe we can do all the smallies. Do this, 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 this. Skip that guy, do this. Probably just kill him. This, 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 this. This, this. Do this guy. This, this. Need a lot more trash. Maybe we can just do both sides of this. Short 2 count. Oh, 7 count. There's blobs? Need one more. Maybe we can just get these guys. Okay. And then we'll get this guy. That's fine.
With the power of the Tide Pearl, our fleets will be unstoppable. The Alliance must not claim this prize. All who oppose us will fall. Now, let the hunt
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We say best race for Horde Tank? Volpera or Blood Elf, I think. Alright. We're probably dead on this pool, chat. I'm gonna keep my distance with Root. You're dead. But that's fine. Alright, now we're gonna go pull everything here. We're gonna put a spiritualist on focus so that we have an interrupt for him. Now these attendants, you see they're casting a wash away. If you stop their wash away cast with a disrupt, they'll keep trying to recast it. We're gonna wall that water blast. Try to purge the Templar with a torrent. Hopefully someone can get the other one. Okay, they got it. Reflect that. Stun that water blast. I gotta watch out for my TD here. So now I can outrange these water blasts. They have a 20-yard range, so just outrange it, go back in range, let them cast, so that they don't move too far. And your DPS can keep AoEing them, or cleaving them with the rest. I reflect for that. And then now we can go back up to this obelisk. We're closest to this. I don't have reflect, so we'll just kick it. This blob does a lot of damage, so you're gonna want to make sure you have block up all the time for the blob. Everything's dead. We can just go down. Now, with the way the obelisks are lined up for this dungeon, you could actually do it without a rogue because you can use the obelisk for pretty much every skip that you would normally use a rogue for. We're just gonna drop it off here. You could use this spot as a little snap spot, and then snap him down. But it's the blob and not the spider this week, so he just moves with you. I'm gonna exit. Reflect that water blast. I'm gonna put a spiritualist on my focus so that I can stop any heals. That would be really detrimental. Protective aura goes off. I purge that with arcane torrent. Use a fear as a disrupt. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab these droplets here. I trigger the boss RP. Just bring these droplets down so we can get the big pad. Get all these droplets in with the boss. Now, these normally would give you a lot of necrotic stacks, but you can keep range from them just with conflict and major. Like, they're just rooted out there and they die pretty fast. Have reflect for this undertow. And you're gonna want to. Oh, we didn't even lust. Okay. Anyway, but you want to ideally line up Avatar so that you have it up for when they split, so you can hit two things. You can hit both of these mobs with your thunderclap, so you get most damage out of that. So it's gonna line up. He's phasing at 50%, so we're gonna make sure we have Avatar up for that. We have Avatar up, so we're gonna hold it a little bit. Okay. And I'll tank this one. See how my thunderclap is hitting both of them. Get out of the way for that surging rush. We got Avatar ruling. I'm gonna chain in these mobs. For the boss here. Watch out for the Tempest. We'll just set one to focus so that we can kick it. Now this boss's hitbox is very weird. For stuff to cleave like a Mage Ignite, they have to be directly under the boss. So just gotta watch out for that if you're pulling stuff into the boss. And then we're gonna go ahead and get these guys over here. Without pulling the wind speaker. I'm gonna let him heal up the bursting a little bit, and then we're gonna go in this. Okay, we have all of our CDs up for this. We do have a big pull coming up, so I want to save my shield wall. Can intervene out here. So I can use everything here except for shield wall. Everything else will come back up in time. I'm gonna pop our last stand. Now we want to use him just as an easy skip past the wind speaker. So we'll go through here. Pop our avatar. Now I probably should have saved avatar there, cause so I have it up, but it should come back up in time by the time I go in there and pull everything out. Okay, so we can get out of here. Now I'm gonna go pull everything. So when I go pull everything here, I'm gonna use my Stormbolt on the attendant so he can't blast me as I'm pulling stuff in there and coming back out. And then we're gonna make sure we get a Necrotic reset before we fight here. Stun those. Got a Necrotic reset. Kick that Tempest. Pop our shield wall here. I reflect up for the water blast. Fear that. Okay, now we're gonna be in trouble here with this. We're gonna need to get a reset while this bursting's rolling. Clap. Root. And we got a reset. We should be able to live here. Get the victory rush. And we're good to go. Now we have Rogue, so we can Shroud. We can Shroud past this Rune Carver. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and set one of these to our focus so we can stop. Kick, we can stun that. Now this elemental you can fight or you can skip with like somebody pulling it away like a rogue and then vanishing, but I think we're just gonna fight it just for simplicity's sake. And then as a warrior you can reflect the electric shock if it goes on you. So the strat that people will use in like a higher key with a warrior is the warrior basically solos this mob by being the only one in combat with it or in range of it, and then he'll get a guaranteed cast on the warrior and you can reflect it like this. Here I'm gonna reflect what that was not on me, he was targeting me. Anyway, so you would reflect that and then it does about 25% of his health or so, or 30% of his health, and then you get 3 reflects, and then the mob dies by itself. Alright, so everything is lining up here. We can just pull everything, it's not bolstering. We're just gonna go ahead, do a big pull for fun. We're gonna get 4 stacks of bursting since there's 4 small mobs here first. So when that bursting goes out, we're just gonna make sure we're not getting any necrotic stacks. Just range with Conflict and Strife and Thunderclap so that we get our reset. And then we can go back in. We're gonna stun that slam. So we're ready to get more bursting here, so just stay ranged, not get necrotic. And then, since it's bursting, we're probably just gonna do 2 packs at a time. So 2 sets. I guess there's still 5 sets. So we'll just do 2, 1, 2. They don't get, you know, killed by bursting. 8 stack of bursting. Hopefully we don't roll it too hard. TD proc, so make sure we kill them all at the same time. Alright, so, you know, he used CDs there. We saw the mage use ice block, so he didn't die. We don't want to, you know, get another crazy one. We'll just do 1 pack. So, you lose more time if people die and then you have to res than doing these packs like 1 at a time for safety. So, don't want to do anything crazy. Just let the healer heal up in between each pull. We actually drop bursting stacks there, so it's not gonna be a big one. Alright, let the healer heal up again. So now we have 2 range kicks, so this is gonna be a little bit tricky, especially with no communication on who's kicking. So, you know, hopefully we can get enough kicks, otherwise we'll use the rune to reset our stacks. So I normally get the first kick, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully we can rotate our kicks. So now tanking in this on this side, so the range or the rest of the team can stand up on the rocks, and they don't have to deal with the the tornadoes. I'll just kick whenever I can at this point. Usually that corner is safe, so we're gonna face the boss away for cleaves and the tornadoes. So the tornadoes will always spawn where the boss is facing. So now that the tornadoes is up, we're gonna face the tornadoes to the outside because they can actually get hit by the tornadoes up there. And then we're gonna go back to this corner. Watch out for the cleaves. Get tornado here. And then I'm gonna go back in this corner because this corner is typically safe from tornadoes. They don't go in here. But that rune is there now, so we're gonna move the boss away. And then you can also use that rune to reset Necrotic, which we'll do after this boss dies. Make sure we're safe. So yeah, that little corner back here is safe from the tornadoes as long as you don't spawn the tornadoes there. So we're gonna move him away from the body a little bit because that's where he'll summon the ward, and then we can use that to reset our Necrotic. And then our route does require that one guy after the boss, so we'll see where he's at. Our rogue looks like he's getting ready to pull it. Now this guy, he does a deep smash, this enforcer, which we can reflect. We're gonna get up to him and then pop the reflect. Now outside of reflect, it does a lot of damage, so you don't want to tank him too much, otherwise he can do a lot of damage to you. Just kite him around, then we can go into the Obelisk. We try to pick up all these mobs as fast as possible. Clap once to get threat and let them walk in, so that you don't keep them rooted outside. And then on this, usually around 6 stacks of the bleed, I'm gonna try to get a reset. I'm gonna pop wall while the bursting is rolling too. And then we're gonna just leap away. We have to bring this guy away anyway, so we get a reset on our Necrotic. Gotta bring him all the way before we kill him. The timer in the middle of the screen is a Necrotic, so it shows me the stack and the duration. Alright, we're past, so you can see that. Watch, I get Necrotic, that's 1 stack, and then it shows the duration left on it. And then now you could do a double pull or not, but we'll probably keep it simple and then do this in 2 pulls. So the tentacles always spawn in between these braziers, so that's where you want to be, that your melee don't get killed. And you have to stay in melee of the tentacles, otherwise they'll do a slam. You stun that assault. Then we can pull this pack. The rogue sapped it for us, so it's prepared for us. And then, like always, you want to have... Ideally, you have Avatar going into the pack. If it comes up a couple seconds after like that, you can reflect that Ripped Mind. And then... So you gotta watch out for the Consuming Void on these cultists. It'll heal them from if they take magic damage. So we have Arcane Torrent prepped for that if that goes off. Detect Thoughts just gives them dodge. And then we can go in here. So we don't have Avatar here, but we're gonna do our best to pick up the Scarabs so that our group doesn't die here. I can reflect that one. It's on me. I'm gonna kick that. And I'm just gonna bring the spider across. So our kick is coming up next, so we're gonna get this kick. And then just bring the spider. So I have kick here, I'll just kick it so it moves. Alright, now we have Avatar going into this pack. So with Avatar, we should be able to do a lot of damage to this, and we can stun half of them with Shockwave. And then we still have Avatar rolling. So I think we could just go into that other pack. We don't have Shockwave, but I think we'll be fine. We'll kick what we can, stun what we can with Stormbolt. Rogue still has a ton of damage. So if you didn't have CDs like this, and on a higher level key, and these things are doing a lot of damage to you, you could do, and you wanted to do both sides as part of your route, you do one side and then do the boss, and then come back and do the other side.
For your life ends here. Your head will soon be mounted on my wall.
So we have Reflect, so we can reflect about every third Void Bolt if you really milk the kicks. And then Reflect on this boss with the Warrior does a lot of damage to the boss with Reflect. Like now I can reflect the next cast. My healer might get MC'd here. Oh, he is gonna get MC'd. Let's stun him. He's swimming in the water, so it's a little hard to get him out. I can run this ball into him. I'll run my ball into him. What? It stopped. My ball wouldn't go into him. This is getting a bit spicy, chat. They have to use the water. They have to use the water at this point. Okay, if it... Okay, we got... This is a 2v1. We have to reset the boss at this point. I think we have to reset the boss. That's the only way. So the water does damage. If they go in the water while they're mind controlled and then swim down a little bit, it'll do damage to them, and then it can break the mind control. Oh no, our rogue released, so now we gotta wait for him. But we're still okay on time. Why did they want to summon me? Summon the rogue. Oh, we can't summon him while he's we can't even target him while he's in that realm. Alright, he's here. We go again, chat. I reflect. We go get the MC. Okay, it's the healer again. Alright, Mr. Healer, you can do it. Oh no, he died. Hopefully we can res him. Alright, I've got to desync my reflect with the ranged kicks. We're on the same timer and then we're happening to use them at the same time, so my reflex are not going off. Alright, I think the mage is gonna kick here. Okay, he didn't kick. I kicked. I wasn't sure. Oh no. I'm gonna hit the warlock a little bit, I think. Okay, he broke. Alright, so I got reflect for the next one. How to not die to the water? So on this boss, like the mind control breaks around 50%, right? So you ideally you use the water to get yourself to about like 55, and then you come up and then you eat the soak the balls. So then you use the ball to break the rest of it, but you use the water to get yourself low enough and then use the ball. I'll show you guys the bottom right route. Alright, now ideally you don't pull these eels until the healer gets the buff, so the healer can keep you alive if you get a lot of stacks, and they can do pretty good damage. Right? So hopefully they can coordinate the interrupts, we can't help them. We're gonna do our best to come up in time, and hopefully our healer doesn't die when we come up to the cast. It's gonna be a little bit tricky with 2 ranged interrupts. But I think we have the look, dude. I just chunked this guy. Oh my, we're coming up already. 2 TDs. Okay, the cast just went off, so we're safe to come up. Okay, the mage kicked. I might have to kick this one. Okay, I died. We use all of our kicks, okay? We can't do the middle pack yet. Oh, he aggroed it. He has to cleanse himself, otherwise he's dead. He has to cleanse himself. Okay, he cleansed himself, Alright, we need to kill one, Okay, row kick that one, I kick this one. Are we gonna get enough dam? Oh. Ooh. Close one. Alright, mage combusted, so we're gonna do trash until the mage gets combust back for the boss. Why dispel? Yeah, so we used all of our kicks before we even came up, and then we aggroed the pack without any kicks, so he had to dispel himself or he was gonna die to their cast, because the cast was going off guaranteed since we had no kicks. Alright, just gonna do the other eel packs. Yeah, bursting is percent health, so it doesn't matter if he has the debuff. This he just does percent health. Alright, we're just gonna wait for combust. And then we should be able to one phase the boss with lust, and then just bang. Is Necrotic blockable? No, you can parry the Necrotic. Alright, so he's about to have a combust in 2, 1, kick, and we go. We're gonna kite this boss along the outer edge. We don't want those smallies to get into the boss, because they'll do damage. They'll do AoE damage when they pop. And then our healer can potentially die to it. And it'll also give him energy, so it'll end this phase faster if they get in. But it doesn't look like we will one phase. We don't have extra damage from the healer since he had to cleanse himself. So we just have to do another down phase, which should be fine. We're gonna Stormbolt that one so it doesn't get in, and kite the boss a little bit more. So now they'll go in by the time we get downstairs, and then we have to just kill this again. You always want to have block up for this guy because he hurts. Right. Looks like they got the interrupt off. Safe. I have my kick for the boss. Let's go and then kill him. So not bad. Wait, we missed the 2 chests by like 1 second. This is the same 2 chest timer.
What makes you think you can oppose my will?
We got the +2? Oh, we did.